everybody, welcome to Lilasbesteatz, where I'm always doing it right. On this channel, I'll be showing you how to eat the food you love, but in a much healthier fashion and without compromising the integrity or the flavor of the food. So please, don't be shy. Click that like, share, and subscribe. Tap that notification bell and you'll be notified whenever I upload any of my delicious cooking content. Now, without any further ado, let's get to doing what I do best. Let's jump right into this video and let's get to doing it right.
Okay guys, let's get into this dairy-free chicken pot pie recipe. These are the ingredients needed. You'll need bite-sized potatoes, fresh rosemary, thyme, sage, garlic, onion, plant-based butter, black pepper, garlic powder, parsley flakes, rotisserie chicken, and we're just going to use the breast of the chicken only, frozen peas and carrots, celery, ready-made pie crust, low-sodium chicken broth, all-purpose flour, unsweetened coconut milk, and sea salt. Now, I've already measured everything out, and here I have measured 2 cups of chopped rotisserie chicken, breast only, 1 cup of frozen peas and carrots, 2 cups of cooked baby potatoes, egg washes, 1 egg to 1 tablespoon of room temperature water, 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, a 1/2 cup of diced celery, 1 teaspoon of finely chopped rosemary, 2 garlic cloves, finely minced, a 1/2 teaspoon of sage, 1 teaspoon of chopped thyme, 1/3 cup of diced onion, a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/3 cup of plant-based butter, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 2/3 cups of dairy-free unsweetened coconut milk, 1 3/4 cups of low-sodium chicken broth, and 2 ready-made pie crust. All right, guys, let's get going. Let's go ahead and dump that plant-based butter right into that hot skillet and allow it to melt. Once the butter has completely melted, go ahead and toss in your diced onion, followed by your diced celery, and lastly, your finely minced garlic. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to cook these first 3 ingredients until our onion and our celery are softened and transparent, and we begin to smell the aromatics from the garlic. Then once we've accomplished that, we can go ahead and add in our sea salt, our black pepper, our garlic powder, and lastly, our flour. Okay guys, now with these ingredients, what we're going to do is create our roux, just like you would for any good macaroni and cheese or gumbo. We're just going to slowly whisk our flour into our fat, which is our plant-based butter. And we're just going to whisk the flour well enough until it can no longer be seen and our mixture becomes more pasty-like. Then once we've achieved that, we can then go ahead and add in our low-sodium chicken broth, followed by our unsweetened coconut milk. And then we're just going to slowly whisk our liquid ingredients into our roux. We're going to whisk the ingredients until we end up with a very creamy texture. And then that's going to be the base for our chicken pot pie. Okay, so now our base is ready for our pie. Now let's go ahead and add all of our filling ingredients. Toss in your frozen peas and carrots, followed by your cooked baby potatoes. And then we're going to toss in all of our fresh herbs. Get that sage in there, your chopped rosemary, and lastly, your thyme. Then go ahead and add a little parsley. It's totally up to you how much you use. You can use it or omit it. That's optional. Then we're going to go ahead and add our main ingredient, our 2 cups of rotisserie chicken. Once we've gotten all of the ingredients into the skillet, we can slowly fold these ingredients together until they are well incorporated. This is going to be our filling for our chicken pot pie. Now it's time for us to work with the pastry crust. So take one of the first pastry crusts and just unroll it onto a flat surface. I'm not using any flour or a rolling pin. The reason I'm not using a rolling pin is because I want to manually stretch this dough into my pie pan. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and take this pie crust and I'm going to place it into my pre-greased deep dish pie pan. And to manually stretch it, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pull on the sides of the crust all the way up to the edge of the pie pan. And I'm going to apply this method around the entire pie pan. Then once I'm done manipulating this pie crust, we can move on to the next step. Okay, for this next step, you guys, we're just going to take our liquid chicken pot pie filling and we're just going to pour it directly into our deep dish pie pan. Be careful though, because this liquid mixture is still very hot. Then once we've gotten the mixture into our pie pan, we can then go ahead and lay the mixture into one even layer. And then once we've done that, we can work with the second pie crust, and all we're going to do is slowly unroll it, and then we're just going to lay it right over the top of our deep dish pie pan. If the edges are too long, you can feel free to trim them off. Let's get to sealing this pie. With your left index finger, apply it behind both pie crust, and with your right thumb and your right index finger, gently press the pie crust over your left index finger to create a seal and an indentation. Here, let me show you from this angle. Take your left index finger, and with your right thumb and your right index finger, gently press the dough over the left index finger to create an indentation. I'm just going to continue with this process until I have completed the entire pie, and then once I'm done, we'll move on to the next step. In this next step, with a small knife, we're just going to slice a few incisions in the top of our pie crust. The reason we're doing this is because we want to be able to allow the liquid mixture inside to be able to vent, and we want any steam that builds up to be able to escape. Now it's time to apply our egg wash. Apply a generous amount to the top, sides, and edges of the pie crust. We're going to do this to ensure that we achieve a golden, shiny, flaky exterior once the pie is done baking. We're going to preheat the oven to 425 degrees and bake the pie at 350 degrees for about 35 to 45 minutes, depending on your oven, or until the pie crust is a golden brown. Then once the pie is done, you guys, this should be your end result. You should see a nice, golden, shiny, flaky exterior, and you should smell something so amazing that it makes you want to cut into this pie immediately. So how about we do that? How about we go ahead and just cut into this pie and see what this pie has to offer? Because the smell from this pie is definitely making me hungry. Yes, now that's what I'm talking about. Look at that chunky chicken and all those frozen peas and carrots. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, share my content, let people know Lilasbesteatz is always doing it right. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you guys again next time.